Good evening and welcome to the Paisley 2021 Stadium for tonight's Under-21 International Challenge match between Scotland and Estonia. I'm Gordon Duncan. Joining me for this evening's coverage is Grant Russell. It's obviously been a positive week for the national teams here in Scotland, and although this one is just a challenge match, a friendly match, let's see what the Under-21s can bring to the table. Grant, all of a sudden a win against Slovenia, and there's a feel-good factor around Scottish national football again.
Yeah, and here's hoping the Under-21s can keep that going. I mean, as we know, it's a new group. They've only had 3 games under the belt. Scott Gemmell bringing through a lot of players ahead of their time to try and bed them in before the qualifiers start proper later in the year. Some real interesting talents in there as well.
Yeah, of course, the Under-21s unfortunately haven't qualified for this summer's European Championships, and qualification for the next one in 2019 doesn't get underway until later in the year. So a vital chance for Scott Gemmell to get this group together, see what they're made of, and try and build for the future. Estonian opposition, of course, not exactly going to be a huge challenge, but certainly will provide an ample challenge, Grant, for these players to go and show that they deserve to play at this level.
Well, I think what Scott Gemmell will be looking for tonight in particular is just a result for this team. I mean, it's 5 games on the bounce without a win for the Under-21s, 3 for this group in particular, but it hasn't been so much about the results so far. It's about getting the boys bedded in, getting them familiar with each other and getting the system playing. Tonight, I think we're looking for a result to get a bit of confidence going into Toulon and then the qualifiers, as I say.
Where does that balance come at this level between results and performances? I think it probably depends who you ask, and I suppose as usual it's probably a bit of both, isn't it?
Well, it's the age-old question over boys at Under-21 level. You're looking for them to kick on, you're looking to see a bit of a semblance of what have these guys got to offer. Is there a clear pathway to the full national team at some stage in the future? But when a game like this tonight, it's a mix of both, isn't it? I mean, I know that perhaps that's a cliched answer, but we're looking for a bit of both. We're looking to get a positive result on the table. We're also looking to see there's cohesion now between these boys, that we're starting to see a bit of a link up. There's a lot of first team experience in this squad as well, so we're expecting to see, different from the 17s where they're still kind of coming through the ranks, 21s we're looking to see performances.
Scotland captain Liam Henderson just awaiting the signal to enter the field of play from the Paisley 2021 tunnel. It's of course been an excellent week as well, with the Under-17s managing to reach a 4th successive European Championship. The Under-19s fell at their final hurdle unfortunately in their elite qualifying round. And Grant, is it safe to say then that this is the level that we really have to find a bit more progress at, because we know that the Under-17s were very good at that level, and it's this level just below the A squad and of course going into the A squad that we're really start hoping to see signs of positivity.
Yeah, I mean, was it 2005 we have to go back to look at the Under-19s and then 20s who made it to the European Championship finals in Poland. I mean, if we look at boys that come through the 21s, there is that disconnect between the 21s and A level of boys. I mean, even like Tom Kearney is a good example of a guy who was a regular for Under-21s for years, and it takes him 5 years to make it to the senior squad. You're looking to get boys at this level who can show that it's not that far away in the distant future they're going to get into the main squad.
Well, here come the teams then at a rain-soaked Paisley 2021 stadium. That will certainly add to the conditions tonight. It's been a dry day, a dry couple of days, but now some slick surface, you would imagine, for the teams who want to get the ball down and knock it around. Goalkeepers and defenders will certainly have to be aware early on. Scotland in the changed pink strip, of course, as you can see. Not often we see that one at home. Estonia all in white, and we are just going to bring you both national anthems, and then we'll get right down to business. Round of applause from the crowd inside the Paisley 2021 stadium. Scott Gemmell there, joined by former Scotland international Stephen McManus, who's part of his coaching staff for this game. And as you can see, the players just going through the final pre-match handshakes. And we're going to just bring you some team news as well. Let's bring you right up to speed with tonight's starting 11s, of course, beginning with Scotland in goal, Ryan Fulton. It's going to be a back four of Liam Smith, Jordan McGee, Jamie McCart and Greg Taylor. The midfield three, Stevie Mallon, Liam Henderson, who wears the captain's armband this evening, and James Jones. And up front, Lewis Morgan, Paul McMullen and Ollie McBurney. On the bench, Jack Ruddy, Joe Thompson, Jack Harper, Ryan Hardy, Chris Cadden, Ruben Samet, Alex Rakaviti, Craig Whiten, Cameron Ballantyne, Devlin Mackay and Dominic Thomas. As for Estonia, it's Andreas Vakila in goal. Outfield, Martin Kusk, Henrik Purg, Marco Luca, Michael Lilander, Mikael Einslau, Mark Oliver Runsop, German Slein, Peter Klein, Rauno Sappinen and Frank Levac. Grant, when you look at that Scotland starting 11, of course some players playing down south, some up here, and but certainly a decent amount of first team experience in that squad.
Plenty first team experience, especially in the back line as well. I mean, at full back, Liam Smith, plenty of game time for Hearts this season, and Greg Taylor at Kilmarnock in particular, pitched in right at the end of last season, had to play in that playoff final against Falkirk, and he's never looked back since. A lot of experience to the team, and even a player like Ollie McBurney up front, he's been in and around Swansea's first team squad, just been named player of the month for Swansea's under-23s. He's got plenty of experience as well, plenty all through the spine of the team.
And guys that will know all about, the likes of Liam Henderson, and of course St Mirren Joe, Stevie Mallon and Lewis Morgan. It's been on paper a difficult season for St Mirren as a team, but these guys have really shone, and they're here at their home pitch tonight showing what they can do.
I mean, they're the bright sparks. I mean, we even saw that in the cup final defeat of the weekend. Stevie Mallon, you know, absolutely fantastic in the middle of the park. I mean, he's a real bright spark even when he's playing with a team where the chips are down.
So Stevie Mallon and Ollie McBurney over the ball. Tonight's referee is from Belgium. He is Eric Lambrechts, and he gets us underway. Mallon sprays the ball out to the far side. Going to be Liam Smith just working it back in field, sending one long early on for McBurney to chase. You can see the size of him, clearly going to be a physical presence, the big Swansea striker. As he goes closing down, goalkeeper almost gets there. That's cut out by a Scotland jersey. McMullen is the man harrying. Jordan McGee goes flying in there as well. Scotland happy just to play it back to goalkeeper Ryan Fulton early on. Always good for the goalkeeper to get an early touch. Thinks about going long, but opts to play it back out to the centre back. Gets it back again. Just brings it onto his left foot. Just going to float it out to this near side. Lewis Morgan goes up. Great flick by him. No takers though. And just in these early stages, Grant, although it's not a competitive match, I'm sure Scott Gemmell, at any level of football, you want to start games brightly and try and impose yourself early on.
Yeah, what I find interesting about this team in particular, Gordon, I mean, we watched the 17s over the last few weeks, and it's this 4-3-3 formation again, looking to play it from the back to the wide players. I mean, you've got Morgan, McMullen in there, and the physical presence of McBurney as well. It's almost trying to develop a Scotland way, if you like.
Here comes Stevie Mallon, fires it in field. James Jones miscues. There's McMullen early on, fires it goalward. Just drifts wide of the goal. But with less than 2 minutes on the clock, early signs from Scotland.
Yeah, and it's just getting men over it. It was just overloading down that right flank for Scotland, giving the space for Paul McMullen. It was just engineering that space down the left as well to find the ball over there. I mean, just maybe look for the far left corner instead of going near post.
Paul McMullen, a man who has played his club football here as well. Previous loan spell with St Mirren. Currently on loan at Dunfermline, of course, from Celtic. Is having a good season though, the on-loan winger. 7 goals already for the Pars. And now to see if he can add an international goal to that tally as well. That's a free kick against Morgan though. Right in the centre circle. Estonian captain Martin Kusk took a sore one. And a chance for the visitors to get one long and put this Scottish back four under some early pressure.
Well, like you say though, you were talking about experience in the team earlier on, especially if you look in the middle of that park. You know, Jamie Jones at Crewe, Liam Henderson playing Champions League this season as well. It's all through the team.
Header away from Jamie McCart. Morgan has it. Finds Taylor. Long it goes from him. No takers though. Straight out of the field. Scotland just trying to organise early on. Just keep a shape. McBurney the furthest man forward as that one's flashed across goal. Fulton's going to have to come and collect. And indeed he does. Always good for the goalkeeper to come, Grant, early on and collect one of those and just build some confidence going forward.
Yeah, I mean, a real confidence booster for Ryan Fulton, who is another one who's got plenty of first team experience, loads of games at Chesterfield this season, out at Portsmouth last year as well, really highly rated at Liverpool.
Intervention that time from Stevie Mallon. Out it comes to Taylor on this near side with the blue boots. He's just going to try and shape that one down the line and give Morgan something to chase. He's always going to be ambitious, Grant, but I think especially on a night like this, that it's a slick surface out there with the recent rainfall we've had, and perhaps the player's going to have to take that into account and just take some weight off those passes.
Yeah, but this is what we are going to see all night. Whether it comes from the full-backs or the centre-backs, it's going to be the diagonal balls down the channels for Morgan, for McMullen to chase. So yeah, like you say, take a bit of weight off the passes because this is a slick surface.
Now, of course, this match being streamed live on various social media platforms. If you want to get in touch on Facebook Live, you can do it. The Scotland national team Facebook page. Have to agree with Dave early on. He says, dominate and secure the match. Heart rate too high in the A squad match until late winner.
His heart rate.
We hear you, Dave, loud and clear. Certainly was a nervous but brilliant night at Hampden on Sunday. I'm sure the under-21s took great inspiration from that. Let's see what they can do this evening as that one goes out for a throw-in on the far side.
Yeah, we know that feeling all too well, and we feel it ourselves as supporters, if you like, of the Scotland national team. When one, especially the senior team, get a positive result, it creates a feel-good factor all the way through.
It certainly does. But as we mentioned, this is a young under-21 group, if that makes sense. Fairly inexperienced in terms of playing together. So a real crucial period this game and the games coming up to try and bed them in for the next qualification campaign, because that is not going to be easy. Holland and England amongst the teams in the qualification group. As this one comes out to McCart. Taylor has it, seen plenty of the ball in the early stages, has the Kilmarnock defender. Infield, just a neat 1-2 between McCart and Henderson. Celtic teammates, of course, albeit McCart playing his club football on loan at Inverness at the moment. Here goes Henderson again into Jones. McCart has to adjust his feet, but he's going to get there with relative ease. No real pressure being put on Scotland by the Estonians at the moment. Worked across to McGee. Smith now has it. This is a good passage of play from Scotland. Patient stuff. Mallon just tries to float it in behind. That one doesn't quite come off. And as Scotland win a throw-in, Grant can clearly see the intention from Scotland is to keep the ball, and when they have to move it first time in one touch, then they look intent on doing that as well.
And there's plenty of talent in that centre midfield as well to recycle the ball, if you like, and get it out to the wide areas. Like we said, lots of experience with Liam Henderson. Stevie Mallon as well, I think it's going to be an interesting one. I think in the cup final on Saturday, St. had him playing a bit deeper than what we come to expect from him. It'd be good to see him in more offensive position tonight if he can be freed up by Henderson and by Jones.
Well, I'm sure there's a fair few St Mirren fans have come out to the Paisley 2021 stadium to support Stevie Mallon and Lewis Morgan this evening. And here goes Morgan, he's scampering through the middle, they're not going to catch him. Look at this run, Lewis Morgan flashes it goal, a good save. And out for a corner kick on the far side. Real impressive attacking play from Lewis Morgan. Picked the ball up, left the defenders in his wake, but just couldn't quite find the finish.
Again, the long diagonal down into the channel. I mean, he just profit from the second ball, and only one idea in Morgan's mind here. I mean, he just finds the space to drive on. You'd expect him to maybe try and find the far corner, but a good save. Difficult one for the goalkeeper. It was hit with a bit of ferocity.
So impressive start this for Scotland then. Can they make the corner count? It's Captain Liam Henderson on the far side to deliver. Just floats it in, stands it up, and it's headed towards goal as well. Drifts narrowly wide. Jordan McGee it was with the header. And the referee says that's going to be another corner kick to Scotland. Good period of sustained pressure from the hosts.
Yeah, and free header for Jordan McGee there as well. Fantastic floated delivery from Henderson too. Yeah, a bit of pressure here. Look to see Scotland capitalise, get an early goal.
So going to get a second bite of the cherry is Liam Henderson. Similar delivery, a bit deeper this time. No, McBurney's there at the back post. Tries just to flash it back across. Can't get enough on it though. And in the end, I suppose a bit of a wasted opportunity for Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, it was the deeper ball this time for McBurney after McGee's original header went past the post, but just a little bit overhit by Henderson, but still creating chances. McBurney looks a real handful in there.
So decent spell that for Scotland. Lewis Morgan and Jordan McGee both going close for Scott Gemmell's side. Number 9, Ollie McBurney, just getting back in, maintaining that shape, trying to win the ball back for Scotland. Up goes McGee, another good win. Here comes Henderson, the captain, moving across the centre circle, finds Taylor. Morgan comes short into feet this time, and you can see the confidence he's playing with. As soon as he gets it, first thought is to turn and make life hard for defenders.
Martin Kusk does not want to be here tonight, because Morgan only has one thing on his mind, and if he gets that ball to feet, he's got fantastic close control, and he's so direct as well. He's just going to drive at him all night long.
Now here is a chance for Estonia to break, though. The pass is poor. McCart collects it, heavy touch from him. Mallon bails him out as Henderson just decides to switch the play. Lovely long pass from him. There's Smith into the feet of McMullen. Touch is heavy and just nipped off his toes by German Sline.
I mean, it's not a chance for Scott Gemmell to just figure out where this under-21 side is heading. I mean, like you say, it's a young under-21 side. Now look at players like Liam Henderson in particular, who can really bring the standard up, and then a lot of players with a lot of intent.
Here's Taylor left, got a chance to whip the ball into the back post. It's going to be deep. It's McBurney there, manages to get something on it. In the end, it's a fairly comfortable save for Vaikla in the Estonian goal. But McBurney did well. Good piece of improvisation there from the Swansea man.
I mean, Ollie McBurney is a goal scorer. Over 20 goals for Swansea's under-23s this season. He works himself into an impossible position there almost. He just manages to get in behind the defender. It's a tight angle, but he got there.
Henderson's chasing, he's going to leave it to Jones. Nice control with the outside of the boot, rolls it out to Taylor. Back into McCart. Scotland going to have plenty of time back there. Estonians not pressing the ball high at all, but that's a difficult pass from Fulton. And I think in many ways he's lucky to see the ball going out on the far side, because Smith had got himself in a bit of trouble there trying to keep it in.
Just a bit of a let off for Scotland, but what I would say is the midfield three just getting in quickly behind the ball there to try and compact the space if the ball was to break.
Scotland back in numbers as McCart comes across just to fire that one high. McBurney tries to bring it down in the chest, goes down. Referee agrees and says that was a foul. It'll be interesting to see if Scotland use this, Grant, as an opportunity to put a ball in the box from a position like that, albeit very deep, or whether they just try and work quick free kicks. It might be a sign of things to come for the rest of this game.
I would say, I mean, as soon as Estonia regroup at this stage, they sit quite far back. So the temptation clearly then for Scotland is to just play the ball short and try and draw out that defence rather than play a long ball into short space.
That's a loose pass from Smith, but McGee does well. Great sliding challenge from McGee, read the danger. Of course, that's a defensive duo that will know each other's games well. Jordan McGee and Liam Smith played many times together at Hearts before Jordan McGee's loan move to Middlesbrough. Here's McBurney just trying to feed McMullen on the overlap, can't quite get it out of his feet. He's going to get a second chance though, McBurney. Just trying to drift in between two defenders, loses out. Jones picks it up though, here's Mallon. Fires it out to Taylor. Down the line to Morgan. And Taylor's just going to be forced all the way back here. Better pressure that time from Estonia. Mallon again, heavy touch though on the surface. Goes crunching into the 50-50. I think Estonia are getting to grips with the midfield battle a bit more in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Scotland just need to be a bit more calm and composed on the ball, and we saw Greg Taylor there, a player with a lot of Premiership experience, just getting a little bit panicked when the pressure comes from the opposition.
He's got 32 appearances for Kilmarnock under his belt, has Greg Taylor. Might be remembered for that sending off against Rangers earlier in the season. I'm sure Joey Barton hasn't forgotten about that one.
That was one way to announce yourself.
There's McBurney again, battling hard, can't quite get there though. Down it comes in the chest. Henderson wins it well, ever so well, the Celtic man. Playing with a real confidence. That's surely a push in the back by Sline, the referee agrees. Scotland number 8 there, James Jones, perhaps one who won't be as familiar to viewers up in Scotland, but he's got a whole host of appearances in League 2 for Crewe Alexandra. 43 appearances already this season and 9 goals as well, so clearly there's a lot to like about his game as far as Scott Gemmell's concerned. And I think that's always the debate at this level, Grant. We can look at what level players are playing at, but really there's no substitute for playing week in, week out, and to be playing in a physical league like League 2 and have 43 appearances at this stage in the season, that surely can only stand James Jones in good stead.
You've got it absolutely nailed on there. At this age, what do you want more of? Do you want to sit on a bench somewhere and get limited playing time, or do you want to play at a really competitive level? League 2 is that.
And it comes, Fulton's underneath it, does ever so well to hold on to that one, Ryan Fulton. Under pressure as well from the Estonian attack. But the on-loan Chesterfield keeper got up highest and held on to the ball, and that's always a good sign. Takes the pressure right off the defence as Henderson works that one across the box. Scotland playing a slightly risky strategy at the moment, but looking comfortable enough with it. Just approaching the quarter-hour mark here at the Paisley 2021 stadium. Still Scotland 0, Estonia 0. As that one goes high and James Jones tries to get underneath it. McMullen can't quite keep it in the far side, and I suppose the early stages, if you want to call them that, Grant, coming to an end. Still goalless, but certainly Scotland have offered the best goal scoring chances so far.
Yeah, Scotland are the ones with the attacking threat. Like I said earlier, they just need to be a bit more composed when they've got the ball at the back and trying to pick these passes. We've only really seen it once where Lewis Morgan was free down the left flank, and that was just for a bit of composure and playing a nice ball in.
Mallon just gets it stuck between his legs there, can't quite keep control of the ball. But he's quick to get back in and keep his midfield shape there. He's a man Scott Gemmell will clearly want to get on the ball, given the season he's having at club level. There's McBurney again, bit of an old-fashioned target man. McMullen just tries to hook it into the air, but the assistant referee in the far side said it had already gone out for a throw-in.
I thought you were going to mention Ollie McBurney's socks when you said old-fashioned there. He's got them.
He's certainly got an old-school shorts and socks combination. We'll leave it at that, shall we?
Something right out of the 80s.
One of the comments on Facebook Live saying that Ollie McBurney perhaps is wearing the mascot's shorts. I think that's being a bit cruel. Scotland with a bit of defending to do here. Comfortable enough for Henderson though. Just comes across, puts his body in the way. And you can already see, just in situations like that, it wasn't particularly difficult, but Henderson plays like a man who's had experience at a good level.
See, this is a difference where we talk about the experience that's in this team. There's a lot of first team appearances under a lot of belts, but Liam Henderson is in a different calibre when it comes to that. Played a lot of games at a decent level for Celtic, obviously at Hibs last season, Champions League. In a team like this, when you've got, not a maverick, but someone who's got that much experience, it can carry the team in a way.
Scottish Cup winner, of course, Liam Henderson. Set up the winning goal for David Gray, so clearly achieved a lot in his short career already. And we look forward to seeing what the next few years holds for the Celtic man. There's McMullen just closing down. McBurney's chasing as well. He's got a bit of a chance here. The goalkeeper comes and just hooks the ball high over to the far side. Scotland's surely going to have won a throw-in off that. A bit of confusion, I think, between the match officials, but certainly looked like a clear one from where we are sitting. Smith just tries to play the ball up to Jones. It was always going to be a difficult ball to control. Lovely footwork there on the far side. And again, it's that man Henderson coming across, doing the dirty work. Even manages to keep his feet after all those pushes in the back. And unbelievably, the referee gives a free kick the other way.
I mean, I don't know what else Liam Henderson needs to do to win a free kick there. He was on the ground twice, combating for that ball.
Scott Gemmell just barking instructions there. Not looking too panicked at the moment, just trying to organise his troops to defend this set piece. McMullen, the one-man wall. I'm sure this is going to be whipped right in on top of Ryan Fulton from the far side. We've already seen him come and collect a few crosses fairly confidently. He might have to do it again. Here it comes, right-footed in swinger. Fulton's there again. He misses that one though. Unfortunately for the Scotland goalkeeper, it goes out on the far side for a goal kick. Got a man down in the penalty box as well. Jordan McGee's taken a bit of a sore one. I'm sure he'll be alright, but a bit of confusion there in the Scotland ranks. We praised Ryan Fulton early on for coming and collecting confidently, but safe to say, Grant, as we can see in the replay, got that one all wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he comes into traffic there, but on the first look it looked like Jordan McGee had perhaps got particularly in his way, but he hadn't really. It was almost like Fulton just lost sight of the ball as it came across. Chested
down by McBurney then, into McMullen. Loose pass from him though. Scotland giving up possession quite easily in the last couple of minutes. Fulton happy just to collect an easy one this time. Try and settle the nerves after that slight mishap. McGee, as you can see, is up and raring to go. No lasting effects from that collision with his goalkeeper. Jones battling hard, flicked up into the air. Smith, down the line it goes. McBurney chests it down. McMullen can't get there. It's turned slightly scrappy in the last couple of minutes.
This whole game, for the 18 or so minutes it's been on the go, has been unable to take a breath. I mean, it is completely high octane, high energy from every player out on the pitch. Not a lot of time for either team to settle.
Scotland did show early signs of getting that opening goal, but we're still awaiting it here at the Paisley 2021 stadium, as Jamie McCart just allows that one to roll across his body. Plays it back to Ryan Fulton. Takes a touch and fires it left-footed up towards Mallon. Bit of confusion between the Estonian midfield, but they've got it back. Down it comes. Lovely turn that time from Mark Oliver. Good sliding tackle though, Greg Taylor. Kilmarnock man's really been at the thick of the action in these opening 20 minutes or so. Scotland with more defending to do here, twisting and turning in the penalty box, but for the umpteenth time in the game, Liam Henderson wins the ball back, wins himself a free kick, and it's still Scotland 0, Estonia 0.
I mean, the Estonian players have got his card marked, haven't they? They know he's the danger man, even if it's from that deep position.
So Henderson just shrugging off that one as McCart comes forward with it. Chooses to come back inside. Pressure on Scotland, but they deal with it well. Good composure from Henderson. And this time it's Jordan McGee, happy to try and carry the ball out. Looks down the channel for McBurney. McBurney goes across, he's got a chance to win it back, but the ball just nipped away from him. Composed defending as well from Estonia, it must be said. There's Smith, headers it back in. McBurney now with it, he's going to turn, threads it through. McMullen, the touch is heavy though. And the attack breaks down, a goal kick to Estonia, but good signs of link-up play. McBurney being the target man and trying to bring McMullen into play.
I think that's going to be key, the way Estonia are set up just now. That defensive line is sitting so deep that McBurney needs to draw them out if he wants to bring McMullen and Morgan into play. It's very rare they're going to get a run at that defence. It needs to be about the overlapping runs and McBurney playing the passes on.
There's a lively winger, Paul McMullen. Another one who's on loan out of Celtic at Dunfermline this season. I don't think he's managed a first team debut for Brendan Rodgers' men just yet. Maybe that will to come in the coming seasons. That one does bypass Henderson, but he gets it at the second time of asking. Offside flag is up though on this near side. It's a fairly low key period in the game after those early chances. Grant, we had Lewis Morgan through in goal, Jordan McGee with a header just wide. It is still goalless, and if you're Scott Gemmell, I guess you would have liked to have seen Scotland press home that advantage when they had it.
It takes us back to what we're saying pre-match about performances against results, and yes, a positive result will get heads up, but if looking at performances so far, it's the way Estonia are set up is making it really difficult for Scotland to play in any area of the park.
Liam Smith penalised for an aerial challenge there. Certainly had his eye on the ball the whole time, but referee Eric Lambrecht didn't like it, and Estonia get us back underway. German Slime just coming across the halfway line, playing it out to this near side. Down the line it goes. Good physical battle between Jamie McCart, back there. Scotland with yet more defending to do. McCart stands up well. Jones goes rushing in as well. Here's Morgan, not much on for him, it must be said. Goes back to Taylor, tries to get it down the line. Weak from him though. Here's Jones, chance for Scotland to spread the play, just loses his footing, gets it at the second time of asking, and here comes Smith on the far side. Real chance for Scotland to break. He's got McMullen outside him, chooses to go inside to Mallon. It's a lovely pass, Stevie Mallon. The touch is a poor one though. The St Mirren man can't bring it under control, and yet another attack from Scotland just breaks down in the final third.
Good to see Stevie Mallon getting into the advanced midfield position like that, really supporting the two wingers, with McBurney also pulling wide. Chance for Scotland to really press up the pitch, I feel, and challenge that deep defensive line.
There's McCart again, just goes left-footed high into the night sky. That one's headed over Stevie Mallon. He's battling hard to win it back though, settles for a throw-in on the near side. Still Scotland 0, Estonia 0. As that one evades McBurney. Taylor has it back though, goes battling, charging into that one. Taylor clearly likes to put himself about. It's a lovely touch. Jordan Henderson just working hard to win it back, indeed he does, and that is a fairly easy decision for the referee.
Liam Henderson
winning the ball back.
Yeah, he just wants to get on with things.
Henderson with the free kick, just plays it back to Ryan Fulton in the Scotland goal. He chooses to go long though, up towards McBurney. There's no one really near him. He did win the flick on, but no pink shirts nearby to take advantage. There goes Smith again, chooses not to steamroll into that one after being penalised on the previous instance. Fulton again going to go long. Only one target, McBurney. And there's McMullen. McMullen's closing down the keeper at a fair rate of knots, but easily dealt with. Taylor, up he goes. Estonian players felt there was a push in the back there. Referee not interested.
Well, Gordon, forget about this game being physically demanding. It's mentally demanding on these players because they're constantly having to chase and harry, and the ball's pinging all over the pitch, constantly having to think about the positions, constantly having to think about where the ball's going next. It's a challenging watch.
It certainly has been a fairly scrappy period of the game. Free kicks being given away regularly, ball going out of play fairly often as well. But Scotland certainly being the better team in the opening stages. Now a chance to see if Scott Gemmell's men can find that breakthrough goal as McGee fires it out to Smith on the far side. He's got a bit of space as he crosses the halfway line. McMullen goes down the line, but he chips it back inside to Mallon. Mallon back into his own half to McGee, across to McCart. McCart just looks up, you can see him thinking about the diagonal, and it's a lovely one as well. Poor touch though on the far side.
I think he's tried to find McMullen there, but not read it.
It was Smith charging forward, I think, from the right back position. The touch was heavy. That's been an unfortunate feature of Scotland's play in these early stages. 25 minutes or so gone. Still Scotland 0, Estonia 0. Liam Smith there. Hasn't played for Hearts since the 4-0 defeat to Celtic a couple of months back, so he certainly was enjoying a run of games but hasn't featured recently. So it'll be a nice chance for him to get some game time. There goes Taylor. Morgan has it. Nice footwork from him. Just perhaps bites off more than he can chew. Tries to take it past one man too many.
There's more traffic in that midfield sometimes, Gordon, than you've seen at the Wraith interchange just now.
I don't know about that. That's a bold statement. But it certainly is a congested and frantic game early on. Be interesting to see if this tempo can keep up as McBurney goes chasing down. Not for the first time this evening. Old goalkeeper looked as if he'd got himself in a bit of trouble, but does well. Henderson again battling hard, had his shot pulled but managed to win the header. Morgan chasing. Is he going to get there? Good sliding challenge, it must be said, from Martin Kusk at right back for Estonia. Knows he's got his hands full with Lewis Morgan tonight, but did well on that occasion.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis Morgan is constantly trying to get direct down that flank, whether it's ball at feet or chasing balls down the flank. He's the danger man for Scotland so far.
And it goes to the feet of Morgan. Back to St Mirren teammate Mallon. Chance for the 1-2 with Ollie McBurney. Here is Stevie Mallon on the right foot, fast and low. Good save from Vikla. But another good opening from Scotland and another good chance for Stevie Mallon.
Yeah, and Stevie Mallon there, when he receives the ball back from Ollie McBurney, the tendency you might think would be to go for the far post, but no, he picks the right option. I feel he goes for the near post. Unfortunately, the keeper reads it.
So 26 minutes on the clock. If you're just joining us, then the obvious question is, where have you been? But we'll forgive you. Still Scotland 0, Estonia 0. You've not missed too much in the way of goal scoring chances, but certainly Scotland on top. Lewis Morgan, Jordan McGee and Stevie Mallon all going close within this opening half an hour. But still no breakthrough here at the Paisley 2021 Stadium. Scott Gemmell stands arms folded, barking instructions from the sideline. Liam Smith just in two minds, I think, as to where to take the throw in. James Jones looking to come away with the ball, but the referee says that was a foul against Estonia. And Scotland have yet more defending to do, but they too choose to play the ball short. Always encouraging to see the teams trying to get the ball down and play. The surface is decent here at the Paisley 2021 Stadium, but it's certainly quick tonight. Started raining just a couple of hours before kickoff. It certainly is having an impact on the speed of the game. Henderson again draws the foul. It's been a really impressive competitive performance from him so far. As McMullen goes down the right, down he goes. Referee says foul. And a chance perhaps for Stevie Mallon to deliver the ball, although Liam Henderson's been on corner kick duty as well. This team is blessed with some good set piece deliveries.
Yeah, I mean, Liam Henderson in particular mentioned setting up that goal in the Scottish Cup final. Just a word for his performance in midfield there as well. He really looked head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of quality, and yes, that comes down to the big game experience he's had, but just a real standout of all 22 players tonight.
And it's going to be that man Liam Henderson standing over the free kick. Chance to whip this one into a dangerous area. Here he comes, right footed. Not a great ball, it must be said, doesn't beat the first man. McCart's underneath it. Scotland just battling, trying to keep possession on, but Estonia do well to clear. It's going to go all the way through to Ryan Fulton. Fulton finds Henderson again. He's going to look long, but it's over the head of Morgan. Defensive header just takes it away from Ollie McBurney as well, so a chance for Estonia just to take a breather. I'm sure they'll play this one long down the line. Indeed they do. McCart gets it though, left footed out to Smith on the far side. Smith just nicks the ball away onto the right hand side there, allows McMullen to drive again, tries to chip it in. It's fairly dodgy defending from Estonia, but the goalkeeper Andreas Vikla happy just to collect that ball, because the sliced clearance could have got them in all sorts of trouble.
Ollie McBurney's starting to ask questions now of Henrik Berg and Marco Luca at the back. He's just deciding to pick on one at a time wherever the ball is on the park, and just pegging himself to the centre back to try and put them under pressure. Important for Scotland that Lewis Morgan and Paul McMullen get up and join Ollie McBurney as often as possible. Can be a lonely role that he's playing, but Scotland making it work to relatively good effect so far. McBurney just loses his footing trying to close down. Henderson again brings it under control. There's Mallon, poor pass from him though, given away. Henderson snapping at the heels as that ball slid forward. The referee's going to pull that back for a free kick. I think Liam Henderson, no real complaints, had a one or two tugs of the jersey, and eventually when the advantage broke down, easy decision for the referee. Unfortunately, Stevie Mallon's slack pass just brings on that unnecessary pressure on Liam Henderson to have to chase back. Just a little bit of composure in the middle of the park. He had space, he's got options left and right. Here comes Taylor coming across to defend. McCart does well, reads the danger and steps out, but then loses it. Henderson into Jones. Neat turn from him. Scotland taking a real chance here. Back it goes to Fulton. He's happy just to get it anywhere away from his goal, I think. Just swung the right boot at it, and out it goes for an Estonia throw on the far side. Michael Lander with it. In it comes. Smith into Henderson. Finds Mallon. McCart's just going to look long with the left boot. A lovely ball from him. Finds Taylor. Taylor with the chance to drive infield. Has the shot pulled. Manages to keep going. Stevie Mallon with the left boot this time. We know what he's capable of on his right boot, but comfortable on the left there. In comes McMullen. Slides it forward. Jones can't get there though. He's still battling. There's going to be a throw in on the far side, and again, good composure from Scotland at the back. McCart happy just to float that ball over to Taylor. That wasn't an easy pass to make. No, it was just unfortunate for Scotland there was the final ball, because the build-up play was a lot more composed and very well placed.
There's Stevie Mallon just tries to dink it out to the far side. Doesn't get there. Lewis Morgan forced all the way back to his goalkeeper. Fulton's got a couple of options on. Chooses Jordan McGee. She controls it. Turns in one motion. There's McMullen. Slack pass from him though. Can see that coming, and here are Estonia. It's 3-on-2. Driving forward, strikes from distance, takes a deflection. And that one loops wide for a corner kick, and I sensed Ryan Fulton's nervousness there as he scrambled across, not knowing where that ball was going to end up.
That all stemmed from just a lack of attacking movement. Scotland had the ball, just looking for someone to pick, whether it's McBurney or even Lewis Morgan to drop in, and unfortunately just that time spent on the ball allows Estonia to break.
So Levac is the man who's going to whip this corner in it comes right footed. It's a good delivery. McBurney misses it, headed clear though. Levac gets a second chance, decides to drive forward, step over, goes to the byline. Lovely footwork from him, left footed across, flashes across goal, and luckily for Scotland There was no takers, but real danger that from Estonia.
When a cross like that comes in, it's impossible to defend. I mean, you either end up underneath it or it's going to hit you and go into your own net. Fortunately, on that occasion, none of the players running in had the height either to get on the end of it, but good play down the flank.
So a bit of a let-off for Scotland as we move into the 33rd minute mark. Still Scotland 0, Estonia 0. It's been Scotland on the front foot for most of this game, but Estonia showing what they're capable of with that chance just a moment or two ago. Here comes Jordan McGee though for Scotland, trying to build from the back. Looks to switch it to Morgan. It's an excellent pass from McGee, but Kusk does well to get underneath it. Taylor gets us back underway with the throw-in into Mallon. Back he goes to McCart. McCart into Mallon once more. Mallon just flicks that one with the outside of the right boot. Infield to McMullen. McMullen tries to slide it down the line to Smith, and he's got it. Smith plenty of time to lift his head. Goes first time. McBurney's in there. Can't quite get anything on the finish. That's an impressive move from Scotland. Smith and McBurney involved, and just a couple of inches away from providing the finish.
A fantastic swooping move, but your eye's instantly going to be drawn to the ball out right there. And what actually happened was James Jones got forward. James got forward and just put pressure on the centre back as well. It created a 4-on-4 situation, and it just freed up room for McMullen on the flank to pick his spot.
It was an excellent ball from Liam Smith, it must be said. McBurney's legs are fairly long as it is. I'm not sure we can say that they need to be a little bit longer to get on the end of that one, but just couldn't quite get there, the Swansea man. In comes the delivery, headed away. Mallon, lovely turn from him, goes to the byline, tries to cross the ball, cleared again. Henderson just floats it out to the far side. Smith going to get another chance to deliver. This one's not quite as effective. Taylor might just keep it in the near side though. Goes to the byline, Taylor. Cross cannons back off Kusk. Taylor just taking his time, finds Mallon. Lovely first time flick from him. Tries to go over the head of the defender, who gets him back in the end. Mallon goes down, referee waves play on. Morgan back into Smith. He's going to have a goal from distance on the right boot, well over the bar in the end. Mallon, to be fair,
I'm sorry, but he's having his shirt pulled there. That's a penalty for me. The player's got his hand all over his jersey. It's nearly pulled over his shoulder. Has to be a spot kick. Referee's right on the spot there as well.
It was quite clear to see Stevie Mallon having his pink shirt pulled there. Referee Eric Lambrecht's not interested. Perhaps a bit of a let-off for Estonia.
Well, Mallon using his strength there well as well to just stay in front of the defender.
Martin Kusk, the man being ordered over to the dugout. Wonder if he's got perhaps a blood injury. Just a bit of a lull in play. Paul McMullen's inquiring about the penalty. You can see Paul McMullen there clearly gesturing to the referee that Mallon was having his shirt pulled. And from where we're sitting, Grant, it's hard to disagree.
Yeah, I mean, it really should be a spot kick from where the referee's standing as well. I mean, Mallon's done well. He's put his body in the way. He's not fouling the defender. And all that's happening back to him is having his shirt pulled. He goes down. Should have been a penalty kick to Scotland.
Stephen McManus there. No stranger to international football now, playing his trade at Motherwell, of course, albeit out with injury at the moment. Using that period to brush up on his coaching experience, lend a helping hand to Scott Gemmell and the rest of the staff.
Yeah, he's doing his pro licence just now. We spoke to him on the Scottish FA podcast last week, and he said he didn't know if management was necessarily for him, considering the scrutiny that goes on around it.
So we are back underway here at the Paisley 2021 Stadium. Good header from Taylor. Morgan tries to close down. Taylor again finds Morgan, and you can see another blatant shirt pull. And we're going to have our first booking of the evening, Mark Oliver Runsnup. And that, Grant, is about as easy a decision as the referee will have all night.
Well, that sums up Lewis Morgan's performance tonight. If you just can't stop him getting past you, just grab the shirt and pull him down. It puts Scotland in a decent position there, because Rosnup is having to double up with Kusk down that flank. Because Morgan's causing them so much difficulty, it's only a positive play for Scotland.
Well, we said Estonia were taking a chance with some shot pulling in the box earlier on. They've just been penalised that time. The free kick comes back shortly to Henderson. Floats it in, McBurney's underneath it, does get the header on it, but Jones just can't quite get there for the second ball. And again, Scotland using that tactic of playing off McBurney, using his natural height. But it's all about just trying to get on the knockdown.
Yeah, it's interesting the way Scott Gamble's got Ollie McBurney playing, because it's very much about trying to bring either Mallon or Jones or McMullen and Morgan into play, whereas at club level he's a natural goal scorer.
Yeah, Ollie McBurney has been finding the back of the net, made an impressive debut for Swansea, got a double in an EFL Cup match against Peterborough at the start of the season. Hasn't managed to score for the first team since then, but has got 4 sub-appearances in the Premier League this season. As Fulton goes left-footed up towards McBurney, but it's not really close enough to the striker for him to win it back. McMullen chasing hard, just forcing Estonia to come back infield. Wins it back. Good play from McMullen. Stevie Mallon takes a sore one there, and that's going to be our second booking of the evening. This time Mikael Ainslow, and as you can see, right onto the back of Stevie Mallon's standing foot there. That is a sore one.
It's one of those ones you just catch on the Achilles as well, isn't it, or just on the back of the ankle. Not a clever tackle. Mallon just far too quick to just draw the ball in there for his opponent. I mean, absolutely correct for the referee to be on the spot to produce a yellow card.
So just midway through the 40th minute here at the Paisley 2021 Stadium. It is still Scotland 0, Estonia 0, as Stevie Mallon receives some treatment. Picked up a sore one on his home pitch there, so he did. And I wonder, Grant, is it something that people like us who've never played football overestimate, or do you think there really is something in the fact that Stevie Mallon and Lewis Morgan are playing here at their home stadium, familiar surroundings? Do you think that adds something to perhaps the calming of the pre-match nerves?
Yeah, I'm not going to suddenly bring amateur psychology into this, but just think of yourself. You're in familiar surroundings, you're more comfortable. You're not. We've been here plenty. I feel comfortable. No, I mean it certainly has an impact on players, without a doubt.
And McBurney wins a free kick on the edge of the box. Now this really is in Stevie Mallon and Liam Henderson territory. It'll be interesting to see which one of them gets to take it.
Who do you fancy?
Well, Liam Henderson's been on most of the set pieces. He's wearing the captain's armband. I wonder if he's going to pull rank here, but well, we talked about Stevie Mallon being on his home ground. He scored some stunning goals on this surface.
Yeah, against Dundee United a few weeks ago actually, just down the other end, but similar-ish position. Everyone was expecting the ball to go to the back post, including Cammy Bell, and Dundee United goal, and Mallon just curls it in the near post.
There's your answer. There's your answer. Liam Henderson moves away. Now this certainly is close to the edge of the penalty area. Got a bit of an angle to work with if he wants those, Stevie Mallon. He's been told it's to go even wider, although I'm not sure that is entirely accurate from the referee. Certainly looked a lot more central when Ollie McBurney was filled initially. But I don't think there's any doubt that Stevie Mallon's going to go for goal here. McBurney's in there, McMullen as well. Here comes Stevie Mallon, right-footed, goes for the far post. It's not far away. Stevie Mallon curling the free kick away. And it had the keeper scrambling.
Yeah, just unfortunate. I think he's hoping that ball's just going to start to curve back inside, but it just finds a kink in the other way he's hit it. It just starts to bend away.
Starts too wide, doesn't it? You can see exactly what he's trying, Mallon, as he goes and closes down on the near side. So Stevie Mallon, the next in line to try his luck at opening the scoring, but it is still goalless here as McBurney gets it again. Does ever so well. An absolute sea of white bodies round about him, McBurney. And Scotland have got some defending to do as Estonia break. Worked out to the near side. Here comes Rodsnup. Taylor's chasing hard, but he's not going to get there. Slipped through, well read. Jamie McCart's been rock solid at the back for Scotland. He's read the game well, stepped out when he has to. There's McBurney again. McBurney might just get on this sliding challenge. Is he going to keep it in? Indeed he does. McBurney comes back. He's got no real company. Here's Stevie Mallon, right-footed, lone hard. Into the arms of Vikla. And yet another chance for Scotland. Again, that is what they call Stevie Mallon territory around these parts, but he just couldn't quite find either corner.
Yeah, McBurney's really teed that up quite nicely. It was just there for it to be struck sweetly by Mallon. Decides to go with the side foot and try and place it in the corner, but finds just the goalkeeper. But a good chance.
So Scotland really pressing for that opener. They just can't manage to find it at the moment. Mallon into McBurney. Mallon gets it back, slide through. There's McMullen. McMullen is onside. He's into the penalty box. He's got Morgan for company. Looks up. There's McBurney. Right footed wide of the far post again. This time deflected wide for a corner. And Scotland really trying to turn the screw.
Fantastic decoy run by Morgan as well. All eyes were drawn there. Just allowed McBurney the chance to find the space. Just couldn't get it out his feet, but it took the nick on the way through.
This is a real period of sustained pressure from Scotland. Stevie Mallon's had 2 chances and Ollie McBurney with another within the last 2 minutes or so. A crucial period in the game as well. Let's see if Scott Gemmell's men can score before the break. In it comes, it misses the first post man. There's Mallon, left footed, out to Henderson. Henderson taking advantage of a slip, whips it in, right footed, it's over the head of everyone. Ends up going out for a goal kick. Nervy moment for the goalkeeper, but I suppose in the end, never really in any real danger.
Well, it looked like from our angle as it was sailing across, you're just thinking, is it going to find that far corner just as it comes in? But Scotland getting 2 men over at the back there as well. McBurney just out with his reach. I think it was a really positive ball in.
So Scotland finishing this half very, very strongly indeed in Paisley. Looking to take an opening goal into the break. We always hear in football about important times to score. This is one of them. There's McGee, wins that header. Offside flag was up, but good header nevertheless from Jordan McGee.
Scotland have started to settle these last 50 minutes. It's got less frantic out there, and they've just been able to get their foot on the ball and carve out a few opportunities.
Here's Morgan, eventually brings it under control. It's nipped away from him, but Henderson has it. Another lovely pass crossfield, finds Smith. Space for him to drive into. It's a heavy touch, but he gets away with it. There's McMullen. He's just going to stand this one up. Morgan's underneath it, headed away by Kusk. Morgan's taken a sore one on the penalty spot. Wonder if the referee's going to spot that and bring it back, but Henderson is battling hard just to win possession back for Scotland. Does well to hold his man up. Jones arrives, reinforcements, but it's a lovely back heel. And it's a darting one. Referee says no. Incredibly, Estonia felt they had a good chance of a penalty or perhaps a free kick. Difficult to see if that was inside the area or not. Another positive run from Levac, but perhaps a let-off for Scotland.
Yeah, Estonia really causing problems there, just getting the overlap down the flank, but just watching Jordan McGee all the way through that, holding his position, just ready to anticipate any player breaking through.
1 minute added on here in Paisley then. Certainly looks as if the first half is going to end goalless. Although no doubt about which team's been the better of the two. It has been the host, but just not managing to find the back of the net so far. Stevie Mallon and Paul McMullen chasing hard. Scott Gemmell keeps that one in. There's Smith, going to go long, looking for McBurney. There's no one near him though. McBurney's got a bit of work to do to hold this one up as the half-time whistle goes in Paisley. And at half-time it is Scotland 0, Estonia 0. Scott Gemmell's men have been in charge for most of the game. A number of good chances. Morgan, McGee, a hat-trick of chances for Mallon and McBurney as well as the half wore on. But crucially, they've just not managed to find that breakthrough.
Yeah, Estonia have really troubled Scotland, apart from just finding the odd bit of space on the counter-attack. It just took Scotland time to settle into this game. A good half hour actually, just for the pace to steady and then carve out a few chances. But like you say, a couple of half chances for Scotland, certainly been the better team throughout. Okay,
so Scotland 0, Estonia 0. Let's take a look at some of the best chances of that opening 45 minutes. There's Lewis Morgan with the earliest chance of this game. And as we can see, Grant just showing a real clean pair of heels to the Estonia defence when he picks this one up.
Yeah, it was just that ball down the flank and he just capitalised on the second ball, just snapping at the shot a little bit. You expect him to find the far corner, but you know, the original ball from McCart was encouraging and just allowed him to find that little bit of space on home ground, just scampering there, isn't he? He asked questions of the goalkeeper early on.
Yeah, clearly got pace to burn. He was at the heart of this one as well. And this one is Stevie Mallon. Grant gets the ball back from McBurney and you're saying you agree with the near post finish. I'm just wondering if he could have gone far post.
Yeah, you were shaking your head away, and I think the near post shot is the smarter one, because you were expecting him to go far post there. I think it's the smart option, but goalkeeper reads it perfectly well.
So it has been mostly Scotland attacking, but they did have some defending to do as well. Estonia did manage to carve out some forays into the Scotland half in the opening half, it must be said. Scott Gemmell and Steve McManus there, and as you can see, there's one that had Ryan Fulton scampering across there. Perhaps not as close as on first viewing, but it certainly was a nervy moment. And then this one, Grant, a set piece from Stevie Mallon.
Yeah, like we said, we're expecting him again to find the near post. He just tries to bend it in at the far stick, and it just kind of kinks away, but you know, certainly had the goalkeeper trying to make up the space and get across to turn that wide.
Now, I'm sure many of you watching at home will know a number of these Scotland under-21s players, but if you want to know them a little bit better, or know the ones that perhaps aren't as familiar, then let's take a look. We've got a video to introduce you to some of Scotland's under-21 players who are out there tonight.
Yeah, one person said I look like Fabio Grosso, who scored the winner in the World Cup.
One of the boys said I look like Gonzo for the Muppets. But that's that. I used to get a lot of stick from the boys saying I look like Lord Farquaad out of Shrek. So that's about it.
Mark Wahlberg, probably because I've got a big forehead, so does he. So.
Brad Pitt maybe? Nah, he's probably out there. A few of the boys at the club said I look a bit like Hector Bellerin.
Yeah, probably Joe Thompson.
Who?
Joe Thompson.
A few people have said Jan Vertonghen, but nobody other than that.
Have to be Indian.
Some biscuits with tea.
Cheap food, probably a Indian takeaway.
It's just tasty, you know. No good for you.
Domino's.
Chinese after a match, I'd say.
I don't know, quite simple, quite boring. Margarita most of the time. Stuffed crust or mix it up.
White chocolate cookies, to be fair.
Like a wee bit of Justin Bieber, went and seen him not long ago, so he's probably a guilty pleasure.
A bit of Justin Bieber.
Probably Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Probably Little Mix, yeah. I've always liked him.
Bit of Sheeran. Had his album in the car last couple of months, brilliant.
Shania Twain. Me and Mum used to sing it in the car.
I like a bit of Kenny Rogers.
They're playing in Dundee soon, so I think I'm going to go watch him. Or a wee bit of Luther Vandross, quite a legend.
Everyone sings The Gambler in their first initiations in the same venue club, so.
World War Z, Blood Zombies.
Dark Knight.
Shawshank Redemption, classic.
Probably Django.
Happy Gilmore, it's a classic. Gossip Girl, but I finished that a few years ago. But
I used to binge watch Prison Break in the space of a couple of weeks.
Pretty Little Liars.
Keeping up with the Kardashians, and don't really have a reason, but probably because Kim's pretty fit.
TV guilty pleasure, I still like to watch a wee bit of SpongeBob every now and again, so I'd say that was probably my guilty pleasure.
Now, bearing in mind, Grant, most of these boys were born in the mid-90s, I did not expect Kenny Rogers and Luther Vandross to be amongst their musical taste, but there we are. And I must say, was it just me that was getting hungry listening to them talking about their cheap food? Not even a pie to be had up here, and they're banging on about Domino's and Indian takeaway.
I'm sorry, I'm not having that from Liam Henderson. Shania Twain. It's the kind of musical guilty pleasure. That doesn't impress me much.
Incredible. And Paul McMullen
Mr.
McMullen is a SpongeBob SquarePants fan as well. I, for one, enjoyed that player spotlight. And
Gordon, get down there. These boys, only boy they're talking to at half time.
Listen, as long as they can do the business in the second half, I am not bothered. We did mention at the top of the show that it's been a good week for the Scotland A squad as well. Remember, it was obviously a dramatic night at Hampden, and I'm sure you've all seen the highlights by now, because we've certainly been enjoying them over and over again, but they were so good, I think they're worth another look.
And what an early opportunity here for Scotland in the very first minute. Snodgrass delivers! Oblak saves from Russell Martin. What What a start that would have been, and that's lifted the fans immediately.
No, it's a really good effort from Martin. Terrific corner as usual from Snodgrass. Gets a half a yard in his marker. Doesn't do much wrong here, Russell Martin. Decent power on target.
This has become a familiar sight already. When you start a game the way Scotland have, you want a goal. Snodgrass delivers. Free kick has been given, and it's not going to count for Russell Martin.
Referee didn't hang about, made his decision immediately. Well positioned to call it. He's looking right in at this.
Jokic. The flag stays down here. Bezjak. Difficult angle, especially with Craig Gordon there.
That's a really good save. Craig Gordon might have been expecting him to go across him there.
Morrison. Snodgrass. Robertson rushing ahead of him. Stuart Armstrong in there, but Samartic's cleared. Oh, and Morrison goes so very close.
Got out his feet really quickly there, James Morrison. Very decent half volley. Lovely bit of football from Scotland.
Nobody said it was going to be easy, but here comes Armstrong. Robertson takes over. Snodgrass is alongside. Griffiths and Forrest in the middle, and Lee Griffiths batters the bar. Robertson returns it, but screws it wide.
What a chance. It's an awkward tie, but Lee Griffiths will feel he should score here. Lovely piece of football. Snodgrass on the outside, hangs it up beautifully. He's got to score.
Armstrong now for Griffiths. He's hit the post now. Snodgrass, and Samartic puts it away for a corner. Extraordinary stuff.
Well, is it going to be one of these nights? This time with his right foot, Lee Griffiths set up from Armstrong. It's terrific. Got his head up, picked out himself.
The comfortable clear.
Up from Armstrong is terrific. Got his head up, picked out his Celtic teammate.
The Snodgrass. Morrison! Away for another corner. That's it.
Another good corner from Snodgrass.
Snodgrass delivers. Bezjak with a comfortable clearance. Black.
Well, he probably knew he was never going to win this, Lee Griffiths. He's still game enough, and he's taking a knee in the back for his trouble. Anywhere else on the pitch, that's a free kick. Look at the goalkeeper's knee.
That's a real blow for Lee Griffiths and for Scotland. Slovenia have realised, I've only just realised that he's down, in fairness, and now he'll be attended to, but it doesn't look like he will be able to continue. Stephen Naismith replaces Lee Griffiths then. He has made some notable contributions to the cause for Scotland. Another one is required. With a quarter of an hour remaining of this World Cup qualifier. Struner away, but only to Naismith. And yeah! What a chance to score just after coming on.
It certainly was. I think it's between his feet here. If it's further outside his right side, he gets more on that. It's stuck between his feet a little bit.
To the Paisley 2021 stadium. Estonia back out for the second 45. We await Scotland's arrival. It is of course goalless at the break. For those of you who are just joining us, you've not missed any goal scoring action as such, but Scotland have certainly been in the ascendancy. A number of chances for Scott Gemmell's men, and Grant, we know this is just a challenge match. It's not competitive as such. I wonder if Scott Gemmell will choose to mix up his squad at the break and perhaps give some other guys a chance, because you look through the bench, there's a number of players there playing well in Scotland. Craig Whiten and Chris Cadden spring to mind. We've got Jack Harper there. There's always been a lot of intrigue around him since he was at Real Madrid, no less. So I wonder just how much we're going to see Scotland mix things up in the second half.
The two I would like to see earlier on, and we're basing it on how Scotland set up in the first half, which was try and bring the ball through midfield when possible, but more often than not hit the flanks and try and get behind. Those two players therefore would be Chris Cadden, I'd like to see come into midfield, plenty Premiership experience with Motherwell over a number of years, and then Ryan Hardy out at Wraith as well. I think this is a game that would really suit him. He's got the pace, he's got the ability to trouble and get in between the centre back and full back. And then, well, yeah, Jack Harper, the guy's kind of disappeared off the radar very slightly when he went to Brighton and had injury trouble down there, but he's gone back to Spain. He's doing well for the Malaga B team, seems to be finding his feet again, and I think it'll be good to see him in action. I think he's kind of one of these players that's a bit of a mystery. We've not actually seen a lot of footage of him playing.
We're also seeing the benefit of players dropping down a division to get some first team exposure. Dominic Thomas, of course, struggling for game time at Motherwell, goes out to Queen of the South, hits the ground running, scores a few goals, and all of a sudden he's in the under 21 squad. And here comes Scotland then, led out by Liam Henderson. But just back to what we were touching on there, it's important, and we're going to actually see a change, I think, Grant, aren't we? Jack Ruddy certainly is going to replace Ryan Fulton in goal. So Jack Ruddy, the Wolverhampton goalkeeper, is going to come on.
Yeah, interesting, we're talking about Jack Harper playing in Spain there. I mean, Jack Ruddy's backstory is interesting as well. He went out to Spain and was with Real Murcia after his parents emigrated out there, and he says it was Barcelona that cost him the chance to play in Spain permanently, because they had a transfer ban imposed on him for signing under 18 players, and that led to him coming back to the UK. But he went to Bury and now he's at Wolves, and he's certainly highly thought of down there.
Well, I was going to say I don't think there's much difference between La Liga and Wolverhampton, but that would be a lie. I'm sure he might get back there one day, Jack Ruddy. It certainly looks as if that is the only change at half time for Scott Gemmell's men. So let's get us back underway. It's going to be Estonia to kick off. As we resume the second half, it is still Scotland 0, Estonia 0. I'm Gordon Duncan, joined by Grant Russell, and hopefully we can bring you some goals in the second 45 as McBurney chases down early on. That one's going to come all the way through to Smith, brings it down in the chest, just flicks it into the Estonia half. There's Jones, good strength from him. The Crew Alexandra man finds McMullen. McMullen wins an early throw in. He's going to look for McBurney, not for the first time. Loose touch from him though. Certainly looks like an awkward character, Ollie McBurney. I'm sure that is something that he'll actually try and use to his advantage.
It's those socks, Gordon. Every time I look at them, he's got them in there. Apparently it's a superstitious thing. When he was at Chester, when he started out, there was no elastic in his socks, and he played well, and he decided just to roll them down permanently.
Well, there we are. Let's see if that works out for him in the second 45 here.
But no, I would agree with Jim Hines' assessment of the first half on Facebook there. I mean, he's saying Scotland playing pretty well, a bit more confidence needed up front, yes, and Estonia dangerous on the counter.
Scotland come forward again, and as Grant touched on, do feel free to get in touch on Facebook Live. Give us your thoughts, we'll read them out if they're polite. and they're not going to get us in too much trouble. Some good encouragement there from John Humphrey as well. Come on boys, you can do it. Indeed they can. If the first half's anything to go by, they've been certainly in control of the game. If we're being critical though, Just need to find that cutting edge in front of goal. Now here's Henderson, the standout player in the first half, finds Jones, tries to just slip it through. Almost an excellent passing move that from Scotland, but McBurney was just running on a different mindset, I think, to James Jones in there.
Yeah, McMullen as well, deciding not to take his run inside, also anticipating McBurney's going to cut inside, and it just meant it just left that space there for the ball to go into and not find a Scotland shot.
There's McCart again, a very composed figure at the back so far. He's clearly benefiting from his loan spell with Inverness. He's looked very assured playing in Richie Foran's first team, albeit struggling near the bottom of the table. Liam Smith going to have a real battle to keep that one in. He's not going to get there in the end.
Well, Scotland just starting the second half as the way most of the first half went, actually, just this kind of frantic element to their play, trying to move the ball around as quickly as possible, and when they don't have the ball, use the pace to harass.
Another loose ball, going to give a throw into Estonia. Estonia just taking their time. They're trying to make sure they don't give anything away as well in this game, because they've been under the cosh for large sections of the first half, that's for sure. Good footwork though. This man on the near side, Frank Levac, he may have run it out on this occasion, Grant, but quite clear that he is the danger man.
Yeah, a lot of their play is coming down the left flank from Levac, like you say, but I mean, Liam Smith, plenty of relative experience in the first team at Hearts this season. He's coping with it well.
Smith just comes in on his left foot.
Yeah, lovely composed play there as well from Jones. He's really settled into this game in the middle of the park for Scotland.
Well, that's a lovely turn though, it must be said. Henderson beaten for the first time as Jones goes racing back. The through ball's too heavy, but credit must go that time to Sappinen. It was a really tidy turn from him. Not much has got away from Liam Henderson tonight, but that was a tidy piece of footwork and a real chance for Estonia, but the pass just wasn't there.
Just a reminder of what Estonia can do. They're not controlling the ball, they're not building patiently, they're just waiting to capitalise on slack balls or turnover balls from Scotland and then hitting them on the counter.
McMullen gets the ball in a good area. It was a nice pass from Smith. Just comes back, flicks it back into the path of Smith. He's going to deliver. Not a great ball, header clear. Henderson again chasing, but another counter attack. Here's Levac. Henderson resists the temptation to pull him down as Levac tries to thread it through. Stevie Mallon nicks in as well. Henderson's there. Down goes Sappinen, and the referee gives a free kick to Estonia.
Estonia finding too much space early in this second half, just in that area, 30-35 yards from goal. Yes, Levac has cut inside there to kind of draw the full back away, but there's almost acres of space opening up between the centre backs and the three central midfielders.
Interesting to see Estonia make such an early change in the second half. Michael Lilander is the man going off, number 5. He's going to be replaced by number 13, who is Alger Dusmadil. And the rain really battering down here in Paisley. In fact, it's not just the rain, there's a sprinkler on the far side as well, incredibly.
The pitch isn't watered enough, have some more.
Believe me, there is enough water coming from the sky in Paisley tonight, but there is a rogue sprinkler gone off in the corner that's just out of your picture at the moment.
Did you see the Slovenians during their warm-up on Sunday getting hit by a rogue sprinkler as well?
I did. That was a fairly humorous moment before the game kicked off.
We're trying to unsettle him, maybe it worked.
There is a sprinkler, there it is in the corner, a rogue sprinkler, and I think the referee is going to just put this game on hold until that gets solved. I'm not entirely sure how that happens. I do not claim to be a sprinkler expert. I am many things, but that is not one of them.
I think it just wanted to join in with the rest of the
rain.
rain.
You can see still going strong there. Nearby photographers having to move for some shelter. Now we've got a problem here, because if this doesn't go off, we're going to have to start handing out umbrellas to everyone in the near vicinity. Now, I have seen some strange things in my time, but never have we had to deal with a game being delayed because of a rogue sprinkler.
It's a bit more free-flowing than some of the football so far.
Hey.
Hey.
What I do not need is for this to go on and give you any more opportunity to introduce sprinkler puns. That is the last thing we need.
I'm sure the crowd on Facebook could give us a few as well while we're waiting.
There we are. That sarcastic cheer you can hear is because the sprinkler has gone off and we can get back to playing some football. We've got a free kick for Estonia. German Slane standing over it. And I'll tell you what, it's a fair distance out, but he fancies it. Only Paul McMullen and Lewis Morgan in the wall. Just a shuffle run up, strikes it low and hard. The two-man wall does its job though. Here's Stevie Mallon. Can Scotland break? McBurney doesn't even really know it's behind him by the looks of it. He gave it the big build up there, the Estonia man. He had the Roberto Carlos shuffle on the run up. I was expecting great things and he managed to hit the two-man wall.
More of a Paku Jabi run up perhaps. But no, the way the rain's just coming down at the start of the second half here, I think it's catching a few players off guard. I mean, the park has been slick, has been wet in the first half, but a lot of players losing their footing early on, even when they're nowhere near the ball. Yeah,
I was going to say, it's clearly only going to get worse because this surface really is going to be fast in the second half. And just to make life difficult for us more than anything, Estonia are going for a triple substitution. Marko Luka is the next man coming off. He's going to be replaced by Soren Kaldma. Also leaving is Mark Oliver Rosnup. He's going to be replaced by Herol Ryberg. Hope the Estonian fans appreciate my attempts at pronunciation here. Rauno Sappinen coming off as well. Vlasi Sinevski coming on.
You dealt with that well.
Interesting time to make those substitutions though. Only 7 minutes into the second half. You wonder why they didn't just do those at half time.
Well, I suppose they maybe look to see how Scotland are going to try and set up in the second half, see if they were looking to try anything different, because Estonia's game has been reactionary throughout. It's not so much on the front foot themselves, it's trying to get a measure of Scotland and impact on the counter-attack.
Ryan Campbell's on Facebook. He enjoyed your Paku Jabi reference.
Thanks, Ryan.
An infamous figure in Scottish football as McBurney almost manages to squeeze one across. That bounces through the legs of Mallon. Smith tries to work a 1-2 with Jones, but again Estonia have got a chance to break here, and Mallon's scampering across, just trying to hold up the Estonia sub. He does well to stop him in his tracks, but Estonia still have it. Livak, the danger man, goes for distance, and I'll tell you something, that was way off target, but still another dangerous looking break from Estonia.
Yeah, Estonia are able to cut through that midfield, and the ball came in from the left hand side from Sinevski. He's cut in from the left into traffic for Scotland players, and he's managed to squeeze the ball through and build through the middle like that. That's a little bit concerning.
So Jack Ruddy in the Scotland goal, just on at half time, hasn't had too much to do, in fact hasn't had anything to do other than kick the ball long in the opening stages of this second half, as Lewis Morgan's penalised for a foul out there. And I'm going to take a wild guess that Gavin McGale on Twitter's a St Mirren fan, because he says get Morgan and Mallon off, bigger game on Saturday. Well, there certainly is a big game on Saturday. St Mirren take on Ayr United in a basement battle in the Championship, but for the meantime that man there, Lewis Morgan, and his teammate Stevie Mallon have got Scotland on their minds. There's McMullen just inside the centre circle, goes to Mallon, just curls it round the corner to Morgan. That's a lovely ball. In the end, skips up. Morgan showing some tidy footwork and good turn of pace as well to get to the byline. Surely a foul, and indeed it is. Lewis Morgan did everything right there, and the only way that he could be stopped was to be pulled back illegally.
You asked me earlier about familiarity. Well, there you have it. Mallon's ball, when he first took it, it looked like he was playing it into no space at all, but he knew exactly the sort of run that Lewis Morgan was going to make, and fantastic for him to try and get away from Oscar Bergen there. No option but to pull him back.
Yeah, really impressive wing play from Lewis Morgan. He did have some children speaking into one of the microphones there at the sidelines, in case you're wondering what was going on. Short free kick from Scotland, a fairly poor one. It might still find its way through, and down goes McCart. Referee says no. Another penalty shout for Scotland. McMillan's into the box, tries to fire it across goal. Going to go out for a corner kick. As we can see, the corner kick didn't quite go to plan, but when McCart got there, Again, the shirt blatantly being pulled. Whether it was enough to send him to the ground or not is a different debate, but that's the second blatant shirt pull in the box we've seen.
Certainly just before he went down, a couple of seconds before he went down, the shirt was pulled.
Disappointing cross that time from Liam Henderson. Easy ball for Vikla to come and collect. So Scotland not really managing to threaten the Estonia goal quite as much as they did in the first half. Second half only 12 minutes or so old. Oh, McMullen with a real chance to capitalise on a mistake there, but the touch is heavy. Tries to make amends by closing it down. Gives a throw in away, but does well to try and squeeze Estonia in. Try and press from the front.
Yeah, just McMullen and Morgan, they've kind of had half chances each, but I don't know if it's necessarily working out what we're expecting from them. Getting on the knockdowns from McBurney. Estonia just sitting so deep, it's making it hard for them to play. And David Wilson on Facebook saying that Ryan Hardy should maybe come on for McBurney and offer something different. Well, he's stripped, so it'll be interesting to see who he comes on for.
Yeah, David Wilson, I wonder if you can see the future, or if you've got direct communication with Scott Gemmell, because you might just be about to get your wish. Ryan Hardy certainly is stripped on the far side. Referee just telling Estonia to hurry up and get on with it, so I suspect we will have to wait before we see that substitution. And here we're going to have it, I think, on the far side, but no, Scotland gets underway rather quickly. I think they caught the referee out there. Jordan McGee plays it long to McBurney. Nice play from him. That's a wonderful pass from Stevie Mallon. Just volleys it with the outside of the right boot out to Morgan. A real partnership between the two St Mirren men. There goes Morgan again. Gets to the byline again. Cross back this time. Jones flicks it high with the outside of the right boot again. Good improvisation on the volley. Couldn't get much on the finish. That was a lovely move from Scotland.
No, Lewis Morgan just really unlucky there with the ball in. That James Jones just gets ahead of the ball and is unable to connect fully. But again, a real good move and great link-up play again between Mallon and Morgan.
Yeah, Scotland trying to threaten, clearly using Lewis Morgan as a tactic, but we're going to see some substitutions here for Scotland. First and foremost is going to be Paul McMullen, the man on loan at Dunfermline from Celtic, number 7, leaving the field. And on comes Dominic Thomas for his first Scotland under-21 appearance. The Motherwell man on loan at Queen of the South. Has represented Scotland at youth level, but never at this level before. Ollie McBurney, off he comes to be replaced by Ryan Hardy. And the change at the back as well, Jordan McGee going off. He's going to be replaced by Alex Iacovitti of Nottingham Forest. So that completes the substitutions for Scotland at the moment. Scotland are going to make... Estonia are going to make another couple of substitutions. Going off is Peter Klein. Coming on is a man who sounds like he could be in the Scotland lineup, Martin Miller. So almost in fact more than half of a team have been switched around for Estonia. Scotland being a bit more conservative with their changes. Alex Iacovitti and Dominic Thomas, the latest two to join the fold. And in terms of stylistically, Grant, I'd imagine, as Liam Henderson goes for goal, easily held, I'd imagine Dominic Thomas is going to offer almost identical style to Paul McMullen. Small, nippy, quick winger, just wants to get the ball down and beat his man.
Yeah, there's no tactical change here as well. Iacovitti just coming into the back line, and like you say, Thomas coming in from McMullen as well will offer much the same. It's Hardy I'm interested in, because McBurney's more of the physical threat and not so much of the goal-scoring threat that we naturally associate him with down at Swansea. What Hardy offers here is something a bit different. He'll play more off the shoulder of the last defender. It'll be interesting to see then if Jones or Mallon will push up more to support him rather than Hardy dropping off.
Yeah, Hardy is another tall figure, but he's quite quick in behind. We've seen that in his time playing for Rangers first team and his loan spell here at St Mirren, but most predominantly for Raith Rovers. And there goes Dominic Thomas, wonderful footwork from him, gets into the box, might just get a shooting chance away. What an instant impact from young Dom Thomas there. Clearly delighted with his first involvement. Just danced one way then the other. Managed to top it off with a nutmeg as well, but just couldn't quite find the finish.
I mean, he just brings real energy to that right flank. Perhaps we're just lacking at the start of the second half.
As the corner comes in and it's headed again, Dominic Thomas. We said he was going to provide a threat from the wide area. I don't think we expected him to have too many headers at goals given his stature. As the ball comes in again, and this time header just towards the back post. Thomas again battling hard. What an instant impact from the Motherwell winger on loan at Queen of the South, of course.
Yep, driving down the right to kick off with, then the header, and then just harassing the defender into forcing another corner again. A real impact from him.
Here comes Henderson. He's going to whip another ball in. Better this time. Up it goes. Headed over the bar though. That time it was Ryan Hardy. He's just on as well. Another sub with the chance for an immediate impact. He got up well, just couldn't get the ball directed downwards.
Yeah, he's got the free header there, but it's a direct header rather than just trying to find the corner. But it's promising. Great impact straight away from Thomas and Hardy.
I like Craig McInnes's analysis on Twitter. A good Scottish analysis. Good run, wee man.
Good run.
I'm assuming he's talking about Dom Thomas, who just brings it down on his chest there. Flicks it high. He gives Ryan Hardy something to chase. Ends up coming back off of his back. And now Thomas on the receiving end of a nutmeg. I can see more St Mirren fans are wanting Mallon and Morgan brought off to wrap them in cotton wool. But I'm sorry guys, Scott Gemmell has other priorities such as winning this game.
Yeah, and they've been two impact players.
That's a lovely pass that. Another chance for Thomas. This time he comes inside onto the left boot. He's going to let fly. A fairly wayward effort to say the least from Dom Thomas, but one thing's for sure, he is full of confidence since coming on.
He just brought something different. Like we say, Hardy's just making the runs now in behind the defence. Perhaps it's freeing up room for Thomas, and hopefully on the other side Morgan as well, just to cut inside and try and get a shot away.
You often find with wingers that they're very much confidence players. I think Dom Thomas is a prime example of that. When he wasn't in the Motherwell team, sometimes not getting on the bench, finding it difficult, but all of a sudden he goes to Queen of the South, he's playing and looks like a different player.
Yeah, and that goal at Tannadice was it earlier in the season. It just kind of underlines what he's all about. When he's got the confidence, he's got the ability.
Lovely that from James Jones, just burst down the line, tries to flick it over the head of the defence. It breaks down though. Smith's got a bit of defending to do. Henderson beaten. There goes Levac again, out to this near side. Jarva can't keep it in. And I don't think there's any doubt that Scotland clearly the dominant side here in Paisley Grant, but as usual it's all about a bit of quality in that final third, and with 63 minutes on the clock I think Scott Gemmell will be disappointed they haven't managed to find the breakthrough.
Yeah, and it's just that worry of the sucker punch, if you like, from Estonia, because what they just find there is just that little bit of space again in between defence and midfield, give them the chance to build, and that could have been a dangerous opportunity to get down the left if it wasn't overhit.
Just a bit of a lull in the play as the ball's brought back for a free kick to Scotland. Hearts man Liam Smith with it on this near side. He's just looking to try and bring his back four into play. Estonia make yet another substitution. Coming off is the danger man Frank Levac. He's going to be replaced by Randin Rand. I think I'm right in saying, apart from the goalkeeper, Estonia have now used all of their substitutes. Here goes Scotland though. Just slipped out to the left hand side. Back onto the right foot, just dancing infield. Henderson with it, rolls it back, finds Smith, difficult pass though. McCart fires it high up towards Hardy, wins the header, but it comes back the way. Taylor to Mallon. Again, composed midfield play from Mallon. Him and Henderson have looked very comfortable all evening. There goes Smith, steps inside. Nice pass to Thomas. He's only got one thing in his mind. Into the left boot, floats it into the danger area. Back out to Dom Thomas. Goes for the nutmeg. Is he going to keep it in? Yes, he is. Flicks it with the outside of the left boot. Wonderful play, Dom Thomas. He's been a revelation since coming on. And now Taylor with it. Fires it goalward over the bar by Greg Taylor. But it must be said that move was all about Dom Thomas. Greg Taylor with the shot. But what a move down the right hand side again.
It's just that cockiness to beat the man on the flank like that and drive inside, and his first thought is to try and chip the goalkeeper and find the far corner, and he would have deserved it for the play that led up to that. Dom Thomas An absolute impact substitution.
And we often accuse wingers of lacking the end product. He flicked it with the left, and it was actually a very good ball across, but just no takers.
Yeah, and in Estonia are rattled here because, especially with the energy of Hardy and Thomas now in particular, Morgan's still got something left in the tank. It's just pressing them higher up. And I'm interested as well, Hardy really using his physical presence. We thought maybe he'd play more off the shoulder, but he's won his fair share of balls and the physical battles with the centre-backs so far.
Well, that couple of runs by Dom Thomas clearly impressing you all watching on Facebook Live. Phil Charles says good play. John Humphrey, this is much better. And Brian Little, who I'm going to guess by your Queen of the South badge as your profile picture, is a Queen of the South fan. He's a fan of Dom Thomas as well, says he's been class at Queen's. Still 0-0 here in Paisley though, as we get to the byline again. Flash it back across. It's been a real feature of Scotland's play, got in some good wide areas but just not managing to convert those chances. As Jamie McCart goes out to Henderson, to Taylor, first time in to Hardy. Hardy can't quite get himself involved as Mallon jumps. There's Jones, left footed, that skips up off an Estonia man, surely out for a corner kick. Referee agrees.
Well, Estonia can't get out their half now. Scotland just pinning them back. Having seen that last move, there's just 2 Scotland defenders back in the goalkeeper. Everyone else is either in or around the Estonian box.
Well, Liam Henderson has had a number of corners to deliver so far in this game, and he does another one. It's another impressive ball, and there's McCart. He gets the ball on target, does Jamie McCart. It was a decent effort, but I suppose he will be thinking he could have done a lot better there.
Not an easy one to take.
Dom Thomas floats that one in behind. Hardy can't keep it in. We are still catching our breath from that chance there from Jamie McCart. I think he almost found himself with too much space, Grant.
Yeah, just the way the ball came in though, it just kind of dropped it. He just had to drive it into the ground rather than getting a clean strike on it, so he was unfortunate in that regard. But Scotland chance after chance now. Is it going to be like Sunday night? Is this goal just going to come later on in the game?
You're not telling me that that's the Scotland way now, is it, to do it in dramatic fashion? We've had enough late heartbreak against us over the years. Maybe we're starting to make up for it at the other end. And there is the man who had that chance, McCart. His distribution's been good all night, but that one was slack. Scotland's happy just to accept the throw in on the far side there. You can see Liam Henderson just barking instructions to the rest of the team. And it has been an impressive Scotland performance, Can. It would be a shame to end this game without getting a goal, because they've certainly deserved one.
Well, I think if we look back at the 3 results that this group have had at under 21 level, we see the 3 defeats, and if you don't watch these games, it's very easy to make assumptions. And whatever way this game goes, it's been a Scotland performance that deserves a result first and foremost, because they're really growing into this game, growing in stature, growing in confidence, and we're starting to see perhaps a team just start to form here.
Well, Auntie Kathy has been in touch. I'm not sure whose auntie she is, but she's someone's Auntie Kathy, and she's watching from Ontario, Canada. So there we have it. Delighted to be reaching far-flung corners of the globe. It's a shame we haven't been able to bring you a goal yet, but it certainly looks like it's coming from a Scotland perspective. There's Thomas again to Mallon. A lovely pass from Mallon. Finds Liam Smith. Delivery needs to be a good one. Doesn't beat the man at the front post though. And again, good position. Just the final ball letting us down.
What a pass from Mallon to find Smith though. We're just starting to find those spaces now in between the gaps in the midfield, the Estonian midfield, and they're just getting deeper and deeper.
Here goes Liam Henderson working his way across to the left to Greg Taylor. Taylor comes back to his captain. Henderson fires a lovely pass into Mallon, tries to flick it into Hardy's path. Well defended, it must be said. Hardy just couldn't quite get anything on it. But what about that from Stevie Mallon? Great vision just to let it come under his legs, just try and flick it into Ryan Hardy's path. And Scotland really coming closer and closer to finding that opening goal.
Time to make this pressure pay for Scotland. I mean, you would expect them to be able to keep this up. They're the team with energy. Estonia are just looking to try and hit on the counter, but Scotland need to make this pressure pay. With 20 minutes to go, they've had chances, they've got goals in them.
Ross McFadzean says, watching down in Stranraer. I'm sorry, Ross, it's not quite as far as Ontario, Canada, but a notable mention anyway. Some high praise indeed from Sean Smith. He said, Thomas reminds me of Robin. And I'll tell you something, Sean, if Dom Thomas goes a quarter as far as Arjen Robben, I think we'll be doing just fine. There's Smith then with the throw in into Jones. Back to Jakoviti.
First touch for Ruddy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Ruddy really has had a quiet night since coming on at half-time, but it's great distribution from him out to Taylor on the far side. McCart goes long, can't find a pink shirt though. Here we go, another driving one from Morgan, and he's into the penalty box, just tries to get out his feet. Down he goes, another shot pull, referee says no. Lewis Morgan holds his hands out as if to say any chance that we can see. They've done it all night, Grant. There was a shot pull before he gets into the box, finally gets into the penalty box, another blatant shot pull, and a prolonged shot pull at that.
That is, I mean, there have been a few penalty shots in this game, but that is clear a spot kick, as you will see. He was pulled back several times, like you say, prolonged shot pull there.
Well, here comes the in-swinging corner, though the keeper misses it, but unfortunately so does everyone else. You just wonder if Scotland are going to get the break inside the penalty box from the officials, because that looked like a very, very strong claim for a penalty indeed. Kevin Hind agrees. Glad to see you've got her back, Kevin. He says red card. Another period of pressure for Scotland then. Intricate play. Thomas finds Smith, who comes inside. Just first time out to the far side from Henderson. Taylor. Morgan gives it back though. Down the line goes Morgan again. He's been real busy, has Lewis Morgan. An impressive performance for him. Here comes Taylor, left-footed into the box again. Everyone misses it. Dom Thomas tries to keep it alive, but Stevie Mallon just loses his footing. And unfortunately, from a Scotland perspective, Estonia able to clear, but it must be said, Scotland really trying to press home their advantage, Grant.
Estonia are completely overwhelmed here. Anytime Scotland get the ball near the box, there's options left and right. They're really just overloading in the central areas as well. Estonia just find themselves under pressure and not coping with it too handsomely. It's more Scotland just not able to capitalise on the chances coming their way.
Well, it's a rainy night here in Paisley, and Rhys McElroy is just trying to rub it in. He says he's watching from Jamaica. I'm not even sure I believe you, Rhys, to be honest. That seems like an ambitious shout, but if you are, then we hope you're enjoying yourself. Here goes Dom Thomas. Comes inside onto left foot. Dom Thomas catches the curl. The keeper doesn't hold it. No Scotland player gambling on the rebound though, as Dom Thomas went for the far post. Out to Smith. First time back to Thomas. You can see he's just oozing with confidence as he tries to turn back. Took a bit of a sore one. Thomas again has it. Left footed to Henderson. Just curls it with the outside of the right boot out to Taylor. He's forced all the way back though. We don't want this move to break down as McCart swings the left boot across to this near side. Smith into Thomas. You see Thomas again more than happy just to drift inside. Stevie Mallon floats it out. Another excellent pass from him, and a first time pass down the line as well. Flashed across goal. Greg Taylor. Stevie Mallon's range of passing has been a joy to watch, but this is the chance from Dom Thomas.
Yeah, and he's just looking to benefit from the wet surface, just see the ball skid off, but unfortunately it doesn't come off there. But it's just a final ball for Scotland. Plenty ingenuity, plenty creation, but it's just getting the ball in. With Estonia sitting so deep, it's hard to get the clear-cut chances.
Going to be another change then. Coming on is Joe Thompson, another man on loan at Queen of the South. He's on loan from Celtic, of course. He replaces James Jones in the middle of the park, so just around 15 minutes or so for Joe Thompson to show what he's capable of. Does have a Celtic first team appearance under his belt, of course, up at Tannadice. That's well played on the far side as the cross comes in once more. Ryan Hardy just sticks out a leg, can't get there. Neither can Dom Thomas though. Puts his hand up for a throw in and gets it. Joe Thompson, perhaps, Grant, another one who benefits from getting a first team chance now. We know he's had loan spells at Dumbarton in the past. He had that one appearance for Celtic, clearly a fair way off getting in that team, but finding some good confidence at Queen of the South.
Yeah, and a chance just for him to settle into this team as well, because it's a fairly established midfield that started the match in Henderson, Jones and Mallon, so a chance for him to work his way into Scott Gemble's plans.
Daniel Crichton's been on Facebook Live as well. He says, watching from Canada with my wee boy Gavin, aspiring striker himself. Well, Gavin, hopefully we'll be seeing you out here in a few years' time. As that ball's headed into the midfield, Stevie Mallon to Henderson, just tries to curl it round the corner out to Morgan on the far side. 15 minutes to go for Scotland to find the breakthrough. We assume it's going to be Scotland to find the breakthrough because It really has been one-way traffic from Scott Gemmell's side as Liam Smith goes thundering into that challenge.
It'd be criminal if Estonia were to snatch anything from this game. It's been all Scotland. They're good for the lead that they just can't manage to get.
Smith just has to hold the play up there, and he gets it back. The ball bouncing around. Liam Henderson, composed head though, just whips it into Thompson. First touch from him, the pass is good, and another excellent pass from Stevie Mallon. Finds Greg Taylor. He's had a good game at left back as well. Down the line to Morgan, unfortunately for him though. The touch was a poor one. I wonder if he could have just let that one go through him, Grant, and catch it, but we know it's a really, really quick surface out there tonight.
Yeah, Scotland just desperate to work the ball forward, maybe a little bit over enthusiastic from Taylor on the pass as well. Just time to put foot on the ball and just pick the run properly of Morgan rather than play it in so tight. But Scotland still pressing.
Chested down on the far side. That's excellent play again by Taylor. He really has put himself about tonight and has been impressive on the ball as well as Hardy tries to chase down the keeper. Good composure though from Vikla, it must be said. Happy just to pass the ball out from the back as Mallon goes over to chase down. There's Jakaviti. I think he's the only man with his shirt tucked in. I like that. Bit of old school strip management from the Nottingham Forest man. He's out to impress, Grant, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, you've got to have standards.
There's Mallon again, just can't quite get there though. The ball just breaking down in the final third for Scotland. We had enjoyed a good period of pressure in the last 10 minutes or so. There is Jakaviti. Composed defending from him. Looks like a commanding presence as well, does the number 18, just going into the centre circle. In it goes, Morgan to Mallon. Mallon just can't squeeze the ball through though. Smith thought about bringing down the Estonia man there, but he leaves it for Henderson to chase. And you can see Henderson full of running, really has been everywhere tonight. He's had a tough shift as Thomas wins it, and another excellent piece of footwork from Dom Thomas, and this time floats it down the line. Ryan Hardy's in behind, really trying to stretch the game now, Scotland. Hardy just trying to cut inside. Might get to see that piece of skill again from Dom Thomas. Look at this for composure, just flicks it with the inside of the left boot. Coolest man inside the stadium tonight.
I mean, what an impact he's had since he's come on, Gordon. Creating chances, not just for himself but for his teammates. A real impact substitution. I mean, he's the man you would expect could make the difference here.
Really encouraging to see someone on for the first appearance at this level, and so clearly, you know, not nervous, not feeling pressure because of the occasion, albeit it's just a friendly match, but still bound to be a big moment for these guys, and Dom Thomas for one just looks comfortable.
Well, a chance to play international level at any level is huge for a young Scottish player. When you have the confidence he's gathered at Queen of the South, this is just another one to hopefully help him kick on.
Scotland do have some defending to do here though as we move towards 80 minutes on the clock, and Greg Taylor does it ever so well. He's been a really solid performer for Scotland, as has this man. Look at him go again, Lewis Morgan. He has been kicked black and blue tonight. He goes down again clutching his ankle. St Mirren fans everywhere, and Jack Ross hold their breaths to see if he'll get back up.
You can see Jack Ross over there with his head in his hands, perhaps.
He gives the nod to the bench as if to say, I'm okay to carry on. Now within the next 5-10 minutes or so, you're going to have to pick a man of the match, Grant Russell. I don't envy you, because there have been some impressive performers, and just looking at Morgan again, every time he's got the ball he has been an absolute nightmare for the Estonia defence.
Yeah, plenty good individual performances. I'll ask you special on Facebook Live if you're watching, give me some tips. I've certainly got a clear idea.
Here comes the free kick, goes deep, just headed up into the air by McCart, but it's an easy take in the end for Vikla. Scotland will be slightly disappointed that they haven't managed to make that set piece count, because the second half really has been all Scotland as Thomas gets it once more. Control with the thigh, comes infield, not going on a mazy run this time, finds Henderson, who in turn slips it into Mallon. Here's Morgan again, goes one way then the other, onto the left boot, just full of running Lewis Morgan, perhaps just takes on one too many that time. Hard to be critical of the St Mirren man, who's offered so much for Scotland tonight, but wonder if he could have got that one whipped in early.
Well, he's getting himself in these positions, Gordon, and that's kind of the vital thing, because Estonia have got so many men behind the ball. It's difficult to get that final ball in, but he's managing to beat men and engineer half opportunities.
Well, St Mirren fans, you're getting your wish, albeit with only 9 minutes to go. Lewis Morgan's put in an outstanding performance, and he's now going to be taken off and given a bit of a rest from all the kicking he's had. And he's going to be replaced by Craig Whiten of Dundee. Craig Whiten been in good form for Dundee in the Premiership. Perhaps found himself unlucky to be sitting on the bench, and he will definitely be fancying his chances of grabbing a goal in the final 10 minutes or so.
I mean, he is a goal scorer. He's someone who can just pop up in the right place at the right time. Interesting to see him take up the wide left position, but I'd expect we'll see him kind of getting in close to Hardy as possible.
Here comes the cross then. It's certainly a deep one out to the far side. Whiten almost with the first chance to bring the ball down. He's a very composed player, as Craig Whiten, as you can see, as he tried to pluck that one out of the air. I remember speaking to John Brown when he was Dundee manager and Craig Whiten was in the first team at 16. John Brown said he was the best he had seen at that age, so that just tells you how highly this young man was rated.
He scored the goal in the derby.
Absolutely.
Consigned their neighbours pretty much to relegation.
Well, mostly Morgan and Henderson and Mallon getting the shouts for man of the match on Twitter, on Facebook. So it's going to be Grant Russell who has the definitive say. You can take it up with him. There's Dom Thomas again, finds himself over on the left side. That ball just about manages to stay in. Not this time though. Sean Smith says, watching here down under with my granny who's 98 years old and Tartan Army mad. Could you please give me and Mavis a shout out? Well, Mavis, we would love to bring you a goal within the next 7 minutes or so. I like the fact that Neil Proudfoot's giving us some advice on Twitter. He says, I pronounce it Wigton and not Whiten. Congratulations, Neil. Absolutely delighted for you.
Some patter out there, isn't there?
I'll stick with Whiten for the moment. Mavis is getting some good attention on Facebook. You're a big hit amongst the Facebook faithful, Mavis. Kate Wilson says, hi Mavis. Danny Hollywood as well. You've become Facebook famous, Mavis. And someone says, Grant Russell from STV, question mark.
It's better than normally get this Russell Grant. Try to predict the scores.
There's Dom Thomas again. The pass is loose though. Mallon can't get there, and Scotland have some serious defending to do here. Across comes Jakavite, good pace and sliding challenge from him. Looks like an old school centre half, does Jakavite.
No, I really like the look of him, but I mean, fantastic pace and covering there, because that was dangerous. Scotland just leaving gaps as they go in pursuit of that goal that their play deserves, but Estonia can be dangerous on the counter.
Now Grant, you're getting some big pressure on Facebook Live to announce the man of the match. We'll do it in just a moment or two. Let's see if anyone can come up with a winner. That might change Grant's thoughts. That's a nice pass. Oh, and that's a heavy challenge, but Whiten manages to ride it. Good play from him. Comes back onto the right foot, then back onto the left. Cross it comes. Fired high into the air. And Taylor just can't manage to keep it in. Gives away a foul on the far side.
Yeah, I would agree with Graham Dempsey. He's saying that Scotland need to try and draw them out, and since McBurney's gone off, there hasn't really been a player from the front line who's been dropping in and trying to invite the defenders to step out to then allow likes of Mallon or Jones or whoever to just get in behind on that second run. Estonia happy to sit in deep and just absorb the pressure.
Well, Mavis is getting some shouts for man of the match on Facebook. Mavis, the 98-year-old Tartan Army fanatic in Australia. I'm not sure we can give you the man of the match. I'm going to leave that up to Grant Russell. And as we tick towards the 86th minute, Grant, go on then, I'll put you on the spot. Your Vauxhall man of the match this evening is...
I tell you, it has been a tough one, because in the early exchanges it was very much looking like Liam Henderson would be the shout, and also Dom Thomas when he's come on, but I'll just delay my decision.
Here is Dom Thomas. He's got the chance to perhaps change your mind as he stands that one up at the back post, and there we have right at the back post. I thought Craig Whiten had done enough to poke that back across the face of goal, but the effort just drifts wide in the end. And you just wonder, Grant, if it's going to be one of those nights, perhaps that goal is never going to come.
Yeah, I mean, Dom Thomas there with the run again, just asking so many questions of the left back, and Whiten, just the angle was shortening and shortening, just unlucky there.
Right, I'm fed up of giving you the chance to put it off.
I just like the build up.
You're not getting to put it off any longer. Vauxhall man of the match.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, Vauxhall man of the match for me. I mean, it's clear, like I said, Henderson and Thomas honourable mentions, but Lewis Morgan on home turf, just the impact player, caused so much trouble for the Estonian defenders tonight.
Scotland with a bit of defending to do here. That's hacked away by Jamie McCart. What a real shame it would be if Scotland were to lose this one now. They really have been in control for much of the game.
See, you jinxed it because you're getting me to talk about man of the match, but Estonia just asking questions there, Scotland keeping their concentration. But yeah, as we get this break and play, Vauxhall man of the match for me is definitely standout player tonight is Lewis Morgan.
There we are, congratulations to St Mirren's Lewis Morgan then, the Vauxhall man of the match this evening. Now, we were doing under 17s last week, of course. At least this team are old enough to collect the champagne. Proud moment for Lewis Morgan, I'm sure. Good to see there's some family members watching. I think Ryan Hardy's family must be watching. His little cousin's up late watching the game. Maybe he can find a winner as Estonia take this corner shot. Dom Thomas manages to close it down. He's taking no chances. Just fires it clear. And Thompson's the furthest man forward.
I see Sheila's joined us on Facebook just to critique our work as well, Gordon, and colleague of ours.
Yeah, big shout out to Sheila McLaren then. You'll be getting in trouble tomorrow if you don't do a good job. As that one's headed high beyond Ryan Hardy. Still battling hard, trying to squeeze Scotland in there. Well, cheers go up around the Paisley 2021 stadium as Lewis Morgan's man of the match is announced. So Grant Russell, you are off the hook for now. They at least appear to agree with you. Either that or they're being polite.
I promise I didn't give in to peer pressure.
Here's Stevie Mallon then onto that right boot, floats it into Thomas, who's at the back post, just beaten to it. Liam Smith clearly pulling back Cisneyev there, showing the yellow card. The first one for Scotland. Haven't really been in too much trouble with the referee, the Scots, tonight, but I think that was a fairly easy decision for Eric Lambrecht, the referee.
Oh, yeah, better that than have to run in and cover the space this late in the game, because Liam Smith has put in a shift on that right hand side.
I think that was born out of tiredness more than anything, wasn't it? So that ball chested up into there then. Right. Scotland still battling hard, claiming for the handball. Referee agrees. Errol Reberg on there, the number 17, sporting the man bun. As Dom Thomas collects. Really has looked composed since coming on, as that one's worked out to this near side to Smith. Back he comes to Henderson. Rolls it just across to Mallon. Chips it down the line. It's going to be a hard ball to keep in that. It really has been raining all night here in Paisley. A really quick surface.
Well, this is unfortunate for Scotland, because I think, like you said earlier, if you read back over this result, 0-0 at home to Estonia, just does not tell the full picture. This is the fourth game for this group under Scott Gemmell. By far their best performance to date. They've really shown that they can mould together as a team. They've got good individual players in there that offer a lot. Certainly showing potential.
4 minutes to be added on here then in Paisley. 4 minutes for Scotland to find the breakthrough. Can it be done? Certainly on the balance of play and the chances created, you would have to think so. But having said that, Scott Gemmell's boys have passed up a number of decent chances. Scotland have a bit of defending to do as this one's played deep. Ruddy's underneath it, collects well. Only on at half time, Jack Ruddy. We said he's not had a lot to do, but he collected that one with a lot of confidence, the Wolves keeper.
Yeah, I mean, he's had nothing to do for the 45 minutes he's been on the park, but he's shown the composure there, just the concentration to come and claim the ball. And Just give a little bit of food for thought, perhaps, that he's hoping to come into this game and give Scott Gemmell a decision over the number 1 jersey. He's not had much of an opportunity.
This is the beauty of social media. Rab Weir says, great commentating of the game, lads. And seconds later, James Sneds says, the commentators are as bad as the football. There you are, you can't please everyone, can you?
There's a compliment in there somewhere.
If it's a 50-50 split, I'll take that. Good shout out to you, James. Hope you're having a good night. Well, that's it. You could look at it and say that Scotland have been fantastic, and that must mean that we've been fantastic as well, but I would never suggest such a thing. Here comes the free kick, going to be whipped in left-footed. Headed away by McCart. Has been a real solid presence at the back for Scotland tonight. Another easy decision for the referee. It's been a real feature of Estonia's play, it must be said. We don't want to sound too biased, but they really have, at any opportunity, been quick to pull down Scotland and break up any counter-attacks.
Yeah, and they've really struggled with the boys down the flanks, whether it was Morgan and McMullen in the first half, and then boys in the second half as well. Dominic Thomas in particular, they've really struggled with the boys just getting down the flanks. They're just drawing a lot of fouls and a lot of shirt pulls as well, and Scotland should have had that penalty midway through the second half. Yeah,
absolutely. As that one goes into Mallon, just manages to hold off the sliding challenge and win a throw-in on the far side. As you can see, rain absolutely hammering down here in Paisley.
Scott Gemmell is kicking every ball, I can tell you, over in that dugout. And the ball was out just a couple of minutes ago down the far side. He was racing down the touchline to try and get it back into play.
And there he is, hands in his pockets at the moment, getting soaked by the rain is Scott Gemmell. And as we said, it's all about that balance between performance and result. He'll certainly be pleased with what he's seen in terms of chances created, but Scotland haven't managed to find the breakthrough, and that will be disappointing, no doubt. As Vaikla goes long in the closing stages, just 1 minute of the 4 additional to be added on. Here comes Liam Smith, perhaps one last chance for Scotland to get down the right side. Tries to find Hardy in behind, indeed he does. Good play from Hardy. Here's Dom Thomas, he's been a real live wire since coming on. Onto that left boot, is he going to strike it goal? Dom Thomas goes one, perhaps just one too many. Had the chance to let fly, decided to take one extra touch. And in the end, yet another chance goes a-begging for Scotland.
That was a lovely pass just to find Ryan Hardy, just slipping in behind the defender and then bringing Thomas into play. It's not over yet.
Well, this really will be the last chance. 30 seconds to go. Here's Dom Thomas. Just goes one way then the other. Another blatant shot pull from Estonia. Now we know that it's customary for football players to swap shirts after the game, but these guys have been at it since the first minute. Look at that, it doesn't get much more blatant than that, and you can see the frustration there because it's only a booking. Scotland now have to make something happen from the free kick, whereas Dom Thomas is clearly into the penalty box.
Well, what I would say, it could be an opportunity for Scotland because there's been plenty getting down the flanks, and then just that final ball into the box has been easily soaked up by Estonia sitting so deep. Perhaps just a free kick opportunity, but a physical presence in the box could make something from it.
So Liam Henderson and Dom Thomas, the men over the free kick. Just depends whether Scotland go for the outswinger or the in-swinger. Henderson's set piece deliveries have been mostly impressive, but have been a bit of a mixed bag in the second half. Thomas runs over it, leaves it to Henderson. It's a great deep delivery and the header's up there, but it's flicked clear by Estonia. And with that, the full-time whistle goes. Scotland 0, Estonia 0 here at the Paisley 2021 Stadium. Some people may say it's all about the scoreline, and if that's the case, then it's been a fairly average to disappointing night for Scotland, but plenty of encouraging signs, plenty of impressive performers out there. You really could run through the whole team. Greg Taylor at the back, Liam Smith at times, Liam Henderson pulling the strings, Stevie Mallon, Lewis Morgan, and guys like Dom Thomas coming on and making a real impact. Grant, before the game I asked you, was it about the result, was it about the performance? What did we get then from Scott Gemmell's boys out there tonight?
Yeah, I think going into this game, I really said we want Scotland to try and get a win just to lift the heads a little bit, but I think this performance achieves that. 0-0 is not a fair and accurate representation of what happened out there tonight. We had a Scotland under-21 team who, after they settled in the initial 20 minutes, just really found their feet and created attacking opportunity after attacking opportunity. Found themselves on the end of some bad challenges from the Estonians as well, but a positive performance all in all.
Yeah, so it really was a good performance from Scott Gemmell's men. I'm sure he will be pleased. Just couldn't quite find the breakthrough. And when you think of some of the chances, I'm sure those of you watching will be able to testify there was a real number of clear goal-scoring chances all through the game, really. Starting early on, Lewis Morgan was at it, Jordan McGee had a header wide, Stevie Mallon had a shot saved low, Mallon then had a free kick. It really was just one chance after another. Scotland changed it up, of course, in the second half. The likes of McGee, McMullen, McBurney and Morgan left, and on came, you know, some reinforcements. We're just seeing some of the chances here from the second half. Looking at the impact down the left side, which was a real impressive area of the field for Scotland. You see Greg Taylor there just flashing one over the bar, and again this was the one that just fell to Jamie McCart in the penalty box.
I mean, that was an awkward one for McCart, but Scotland created plenty of chances in this game, and I think if Scott Gemmell's speaking to them in there at the end of the game, there can't be despondency for the result, because what they've set out to achieve here is get a performance. And well, instances like that as well, where Morgan's driving, and he should have had a penalty here, I'm sorry.
I mean, here we go, you see the shirt pulled, it's then pulled down, it's held on to, indefensible really.
Yeah, I mean, if you were trying to encourage attacking play and you've got direct wingers playing like that, driving in behind fullbacks, and then the referee's letting shirt pulls go, I mean, it's a disappointing one from the Scottish point of view, because Morgan really deserved the penalty.
And we're seeing Don Thomas having a go at goal there now. I mean, perhaps it wasn't on long enough to be a real contender for man of the match, but what about the impact he made? That's exactly what you're looking for from a substitute, isn't it?
He made it a tough decision, because as soon as he came on the park, it was the instant impact. He drove and drove and drove at that left back all night long, cutting inside, causing all manner of troubles, getting shots away, driving balls across the box as well. He's a confidence player, he's having a good time of it at Queen of the South. He's brought that to the international stage as well. A big impact from him, and just unfortunately just couldn't translate that into a goal for Scotland tonight.
Now, of course, this was an international challenge match. The real business kicks off later this year when the Scotland under-21s begin qualifying for the European Championship, and it must be said, some daunting fixtures in there. Netherlands at home is the kick-off on the 5th of September, then followed by England away. Some really, really big fixtures, a lot to get the teeth into. Double header against Latvia, and then of course in a group also made up with Ukraine and Andorra. Of course the two big boys, England and Netherlands, going to be tough, but what a real chance for these guys to make a name for themselves.
And they're going to come up against some big names, some big talents, but what we're seeing here is a development of a young Scotland team. 4 games now under the belts, they're starting to gel together. A good performance, we just need to see results now.
Well, I've been Gordon Duncan, alongside me has been Grant Russell. We've thoroughly enjoyed bringing you coverage of this under-21 international challenge match between Scotland and Estonia. Unfortunately, albeit it was a good performance, it finished Scotland 0, Estonia 0. Scott Gemmell's men just couldn't find the breakthrough, but plenty to get excited by. So for now, it's good night from us.